Hello everybody, welcome back to Hermitcraft. Actually, it's the last Hermitcraft of the season. This is, obviously by now, as you all know, probably going to be my final episode. I'm saying probably, but because, you know, it's going to be a thing. It's going to be a definite thing. This is what we're doing. And oh, look, hang on. Let's get that awkward shot. There we go. Just make it awkward, Cleo. Make it awkward. I've made it awkward. There you go. So it's my last episode of Hermitcraft on this season. So that means the next time you see me on Hermitcraft, we're gonna be in season 8. Okay. I'm not gonna get the zoo finished. I think that's pretty obvious by now. The zoo is not finished. I've got like a whole bunch of hermits to do today. I've got like exhibits and stuff, and you know, and this is like, I had plans for everybody, I know, and like there are some people who I've already made plans for that are not going to get an exhibit. However, that's where you guys come in. You know, you guys, there is going to be a world download at some point, and what I want from you guys is I'm going to put a little thing here somewhere, which, you know, I'll show you where it is so you'll know. And I want you to do exhibits and show them to me on the world download. So I will put my book and all my resources and all my armor stands. I mean, you probably all know where they are because they're underneath the rainbow. But it's going to be fun. I want to see what you guys want to do with all the hermits that I've missed, and that'll be fun. For those people who want to do it. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. I will maybe celebrate those ones I missed next season. So a quick run through of all the builds that I literally have just done. So I did them all in one go. Are you proud of me? Probably not, but I did them all in one go. And of course we have Bizuma being attacked by angry geese. He's being attacked by angry geese for all the honey he has stolen off the geese. So yeah, that's basically where my mind went to, because X has been playing the bee game. And then we have down here Mumbo having a little 111th birthday party because he is Bumbo Baggins in the worst hobbit hole I think I've ever built. It's also the only hobbit hole I've ever built, but it might be the worst hobbit hole anyone's ever built. So, you know, at least I could take the prize for some reason. Anyway, so yeah, he's got his little birthday balloons, having a little birthday party. It's really cute. I'm aware things are simple. I don't have the time. I'm really sorry. I wish I did have the time. And if you want to improve things, go right ahead. Go nuts. It's cool. And then TFC in his... This is actually from last season because TFC had a lot of problems this season. So this is Fallout bunker. It's not a hashtag. It's a Fallout bunker. If it was a hashtag, it'd have the middle out of it. So yeah. And doing what TFC does best, mining. Lots and lots of mining. And out here we've got XB in his wasteland with a dog. This is my favourite way to do the dogs, by the way. Just the llama heads and legs at the back. And so yeah, because XB's been doing apocalypse stuff, so he's got his little crossbow. Out because, you know, building guns is tedious and I don't have the time. That is going to be a refrain. Do not have the time. And I'm really disappointed that I didn't get to do this the way I imagined everything. However, one thing that I did imagine going quite the way that this went was Force's exhibit. I'm sorry, you can't get more quintessentially false than, you know, heads, hearts and body parts. So that's how we're remembering False. That's how we always remember False. And let's have a think. Where did I go next? Grian is all the way down over here. And this is... Oh, there are salmon in here. That's not thematically appropriate. Every time I have used cod heads, people go, "Oh, Cleo loves Grian," because that's what you sound like when you do that. They're cod heads. They're the most human-looking animal heads available, so I use cod heads. But now they are trying to take over the one and only Grian. They're all dressed like Grian, and now cod heads are attacking him on a raft because I said so. I'm the boss. Yeah. Now, I've got two last things to do. I've got to make sure that this part of the zoo is also populated and build a little house so people who want to do like I didn't get around to doing Etho and Zedaf the way I wanted, or like 7 other hermits, because, say it with me one more time for the cheap seats in the back, we run out of time. And when I say we, I say it because I'm apportioning blame to you guys. I know technically it's not your fault, but I feel like it's always kind of your fault, you know, just as a rule. So yeah, I ran out of time massively, and you know what? I will never take on a project this big again. Yeah, I will. I know I will. But you guys will be able to finish off the builds that I did not finish off. I will leave all my tools and all my books and all my resources in a little house, which I'll show you at the end, so you know where it is. But next I need to... Yeah, I think I need to do some armor stand villages. I think I'm going to go do that on stream. Make it my last Hermitcraft 7 stream. And then we can all move on to Season 8, knowing that this is actually finished. Didn't think it was going to... It's not finished. I'm aware it's not finished. But you can take a plot. You can make an Etho thing. You can make a Zedaf thing. It'll be cool. So, I want to also talk around my builds a little bit. Just, you know, do a quick fly through. talk about how awesome they are and how much I love them, etc., 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 and why I did things the way I did. So, yeah, I think we're going to have a little bit of a retrospective. But first, armor stands. Ah, yes, back in the city where we all belong, because it's still my city. And anyway, so I was talking to Kralis a couple of days ago, and he says, I would like a little armor stand thing just to finish off the city, really. And it's to do with the sewer cats, because Karalis decided to leave everything there, to immortalize the epic struggle between good and evil and smart and really dumb. I'm not telling you which one of those I am, by the way. So yeah, down here, I think if I can just, yeah, it's fine. Down here, we've got all the stuff from the museums, but also, Karalis wants me to put in a very special diorama so that people know where it is, and just a little fun thing. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that on a time lapse because I haven't done enough of those yet. Yay! So yes, on Karalis' final request, Teenage Mutant, I guess, Ninja Turtles. In the UK, they were Hero Turtles, and that's where my loyalties lie. Yes, they're all here, all four of them, because whilst I am aware others exist, this is like the core four, and we must respect them. I actually was a Teenage Mutant Hero Turtle girl as a child. And I knew the rap. For any of you who remember that, I knew the rap off by heart. That's how much of a nerd I was. So, yeah, I like this as a little touch to my childhood and the end. And it just seems fitting that, finishing off this city with something that I actually remember absolutely loving as a child. What you should know about me is that Michelangelo was my favourite. So that should probably tell you everything you ever need to know about me ever. So, yeah. Oh, this is probably my last project in the city. So I'm sad now. Oh. Alright, so we're going to start where my season began. It didn't actually begin at the Herald, but it began on this piece of land. I knew at the very beginning of the season that I was going to need lots and lots of heads, and I didn't realise quite how many heads I would get when I did the head games. However, I do think the head games kicked my season off into hyperdrive. I am blaming the head games for my success this season, because I got out there early, I did a thing, and people really enjoyed it. Except for the few people that were saying you can't put non-shop things on shopland, which is part of the reason why I tore it down. I think looking back on it, I would have kept it as a monument if I hadn't had those comments. But also there was the monetary aspect, so it was kind of, what should I do? Because it was effectively prime real estate. But we ended up turning it into the Herald, and looking back on it, I wish I'd been able to partake more of the Herald instead of leaving it all to Cub. But I have to say, Cub did a brilliant job. Cub did the best of the brilliant jobs. So kudos to you, Cub. You've done an amazing. Cub's had an amazing season, and I am pleased that I could help him in some way. I only did a few few episodes of the Herald before I actually had to take a step back because of, you know, life stuff. Life stuff gets in the way of all these things that you want to do. Hopefully won't have that problem so much in the future, but we'll see. But this is where it all kind of snowballed. Now, I hadn't actually planned for the finale of the Head Games until I was like halfway through the 2 weeks that the Head Games run. It was only 2 weeks. It felt like a lot longer, but I was updating scores. I was taking heads down. I was removing them. I was making sure everything was attributed fairly. I still have the notebook where I did all the scoring for the Head Games, and it was a lot. It was a lot. I think it was like 7 pages or so of just numbers and me adding things up. But it all ended up in the arena. The arena has now been used as a kind of a patron monument. So like everybody, I think, who's ever patronized me, that's a wrong word, who has ever been on my Patreon and on my Patreon server has got a sign up here, except for like the last few months because I kind of, you know how it goes. But can I just say, the spider throne and me turning into a spider halfway, I didn't plan that. I just had a head and I thought that would be cool. And so I did it, because I went slightly mad with the amount of spider heads in the thing. And so the arena was just sort of an extension of me going slightly mad, which is fine. We all do that sometimes. It's a perfectly cromulent state of being. However, I couldn't have done it without the other hermits. There were people that didn't want to take part that did take part because I didn't have like everyone in. So I really have to thank them for letting me, like, for being willing to pull it off, for being willing to be part of a group, and for there to be like even the people who weren't involved in the Head Games agreed to be a boss, which was like, it was insane and it was so much fun. And I've never felt kind of like as probably as accepted in that moment as everyone just like, yes, we'll pitch in. And to be honest, the Head Games at the very start, I mentioned it to everyone and everyone was kind of like, yeah, all right then, that sounds cool. And it came to be such a pivotal thing. And everyone was on board. And I love the hermits, particularly in this moment. And I just want to say thank you to all. I'm getting a bit emotional now. I'm sorry. I will try to suck it up. But thank you to all the hermits. You probably won't see this because it's kind of in the middle of the video. So, you know. But you're all amazing. And thank you for helping me make that work. It made a difference to my channel and now a difference to my life because it's amazing. So I'm going to stop being emotional now and I'm going to move on to the next thing. And so here we are at something that cannot get me emotional at all, which is fine. This is Mr. Red, and basically Iskall says, could you make Mr. Red? He's got a moustache. And that was all I was given. And I think I did pretty well for like a kind of a strongman era kind of skinless meatsicle, which is Red. And the skinless part was deliberate. I have had questions about that. Yes, I did intend to make him a bit grotesque because that's what I do. And it's got to be a little bit grotesque for me to be involved. I'm not sure about the tighty whities though. Still, I'm kind of like, should I have done that? But yes, I think a giant red man in a nappy works for me. And it suits my aesthetic pretty well. So I was really proud of this one because I did not think I could do it. And literally the season has been a whole series of like things that I did not think I could do. And I did them and I'm so proud of myself. And I don't know if everybody else is proud of me, but I'm assuming you are too because you're here. You're watching this with me and going, yes, Cleo, you did that thing. I'm assuming. Speaking of things I didn't think I could do, the Wile E. Coyote statue. Now, Tango just messaged me on Discord and says, I know this is a long shot, but could you maybe do Wile E. Coyote for me? And sent me reference images, and I was like, no, I cannot do that. I will have a go, but I don't think that is a doable thing at all in Minecraft, in any way, shape or form. No, that is not doable. And then I did it. And then I just, like, it was like, okay, we're gonna, like, this is what I recommend you to do if you're gonna do armor stand statues, is work from the ground up so you can get proportions right. Work from the front and then check from the side if you've got your angles correct, because that's basically what I did. You start at the front and then you go to the side, each block you place, and just make sure it's in the right position. I did not think this was doable. Did not. Just I'm amazed. Like, even now I look at this and think, I did a really good job. I'm proud of myself. This is amazing. Now, I've seen other people do better stuff because, you know, that's the nature of the world we work in. There's always going to be someone better than you. However, like, I recently went back and watched Tango's reaction, and then he's just this little speechless, and then I love it, and then it's just like kind of warms your heart, you know. And Tango's awesome. Tango is just absolutely lovely, and he showed it off on stream, and it was just sort of like, oh, that's nice. And then something I didn't see the first time I watched that was the chat was just like it was Cub and Green just going, oh my god, they were obviously watching, oh my god, that's amazing. And it's and the guys are just amazing when it comes to like the stuff that I do, and it throws me because I think, well, you could do this too. I could teach you. And they're just like, no, we're happy with it being your thing. So it's become my thing. I didn't think it was gonna be, but it is. And that's where we are with this right now. And this statue is like how I feel about like Minecraft and the Armor Stand book in general. It's just superfluous and beautiful, and I love it. I just love it. And now, even now looking back, I think I could improve this, but I'm going to let it stand for what it is, which is just me feeling like I've actually accomplished something. Let's move on to the HCBBS. Let's start with the fact that the Bumbo Bagging Society was hilarious, and those two guys were genius. So it's mwah, chef's kiss. However, the big thing of the Hermitcraft Big Base swap was that I got to swap with Keralis. Now, me and Keralis are like, we're genuinely good friends outside of Hermitcraft, and you know, I think him and Joe are sort of the people that I talk to most. So it was an honour. It was an honour to swap bases with him, particularly because, you know, we got to do all those collabs together, and those collabs were so much fun. And me and Keralis just work really nicely together. And I think that's why in the end we decided that we were going to stay basemates, because, you know, we just love working with each other so much. And I wish I could have done more in the last few months. But, you know, I had to finish the zoo. As best as I was able. But yeah, I mean, me and Keralis just get on really, really well. And you know, I know people was like, you're a monster, give Keralis back his base. You've got a cruddy base. And I'm just like, I don't care, it's mine. I'm going to start trolling now. La, 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 la. And I did. And I enjoyed myself entirely. But populating a city was insane. It was so much fun. It was just like the best thing. Just going on stream and then making a giant green parrot for B-dubs to feed, and then having me and Keralis just sitting in the city was lovely. It's such a nice thing to go in and do what you do best in a canvas that has already been painted, which is how I feel about Keralis' builds. He paints a picture, and then I've just come on and just done the finishing touches. Yeah, I've done the little highlights. That's what I did. And the fact that I got my own tower, my own zombie tower, and Keralis put in some work for me, and it's just it was so much fun. And then all the sewer cat stuff was just, well, as it was going on, it was both confusing and hilarious. And I just love that me and Keralis were able to just sort of catch them at their own game, and, you know, jump down behind. Like, the fact that we just jumped down directly behind Green was just, oh, it was perfect. And I've seen fan art of that. It's been great. I love that moment being captured in fan art. Just me staring down at Green. For some reason, people think Green's really short and I'm really tall. I'm not really tall. I'm not. I'm average. But yeah, this whole city has been wonderful. All right, let's talk about the superheroes. Now, I really wanted to get everyone into the superheroes, but there just wasn't time. I had plans, I had written up a list, but you know, as the season gets away from you, things sort of slip by the wayside. I had to finish the zoo in order to finish the zoo, which I also didn't do. But, you know, you get my point. You get my point. It was a thing. It was a whole thing. I have to say I'm particularly proud of Batralis. We were going to do, me and Karalis were going to do a whole Batralis thing and do like an underground thing, and it just didn't work. It just didn't work out. Neither of us had the time. And yeah, anyway, Batralis is my favourite. I also like the Green Goblin, which is Azuma, because I think that matches perfectly. And I also like Mumbo as Doctor Strange and I love them all. I love them all. It's basically me loving the Hermits, but also Hawkeye, which is Hypno on top of the building, because I think that's just like a nice little subtle one that people don't often see. So, yeah. And lastly, the zoo. Now, the zoo was really special to me. I've been wanting to do a zoo for a while, but now with the armor stand mod and me feeling more confident about being able to build creatures, that was what the zoo was really going to be. It was going to be lots and lots of armor stand creatures. Can I point out the first building I ever did was the bug house. Now, the bug house, I loved doing that. I loved doing the little creatures. I didn't so much like doing the building work because I'm not really a builder. Can I just say props to Karalis for, like, this zone is spectacular. There's no word for it. Karalis has done, like, he's done the aesthetic, he knows what we're doing, and he just pushed forward. Seriously, the HCBBS was amazing for me and for Karalis, and I just love the fact that it's our zoo now. So it's just mwah. But yeah, it was. I wanted everything to be like the bug house, to have armor stand creations in it, and it took Karalis to make me see that actually, you know, that the giant animals were fine. In fact, can I point out the star attraction of the thing is a giant animal. But I really like the zoo because it let me flow freely through my creations. The bug house, for example, was like some of the best work I think I've done. But my favourite exhibit, my absolute favourite exhibit of all time, out of all of them, is the little, like, tiny creature thing that I've been doing. The tiny creature thing, that's what I've been doing. That makes sense. Like these guys are amazing. I love the little bug-eyedness and the fact that I put them into lava even though they're a water creature, and like making the 3 life cycles of it. It's like the Nether update did wonders for my confidence in this one. So yeah, what can I say? It's a personal thing, but I love it. And I also love like the little vignettes of all the people around the zoo. I love the Hermit Zoo. The Hermit Zoo is fun. I wish I got through everyone. But I didn't. It's just the way life is. The Hermit Zoo is me going around to every hermit and going, I'm going to pick this thing out I love about you, and we're going to do that. And, you know, so for like Joe, it was his quirkiness. For Mumbo, it was the hobbits. For Grion, it was the codheads, because of course it was the codheads, not the godheads. That's a different thing. For Impulse, it was just that one stream where he kept on throwing coffee cups at Tango. For Tango, it was decked out, which was mostly Joe. I have to admit, it was mostly Joe. For False, it was the fact that she's just a badass, and like Scar and Ren was Star. It was just like everything about it. It's just them. It's just them, and I love them. And I guess really loving what you do is the most important part, and loving the people that you're with, because like seriously, you can't not love the Hermits. They are amazing people. They work so hard, and they're just beautiful, man. They're just beautiful. Like seriously, there's nothing that can compare to them. So I'm looking forward to what the future holds. And I suppose that's the end, everybody. That's the end of season 7. Didn't get everything we wanted to get done, but we got like most of it done. And I am really proud of this zoo, and I am really proud of everything that I've done this season. This season has been amazing for me. And you know what? You guys have been amazing. And there is one last thing we want to do. So here I am, just outside Bedtopia, and I've made this little house. Now, this little house is the final place. So if you want to come in and maybe build some armor stand stuff for the hermits that I just didn't have time to put in, I've left their heads here, and you know, you can have fun here. So I guess it's time that we dress the mannequin with my battle flip-flops and my Billie Jeans. And you know what? Let's give it some arms. And then I think Master of Puppets can go up. Master of Puppets has been the pick that Doc gave me. But you know what? Let's switch hands on that. And the last thing that needs to happen is the book. And there we go. That's it. Season 7 is over. I'll see you all in Season 8.